everybody, welcome back. And today we're on our last day at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and today we're going to do what we said we were going to do, and we're going to review the park like we should have done right, but last time we had a whole bunch of bad weather, so just really bad overall. So we're going to review the park. We're going to go through all the rides, all the roller coasters, flat rides, everything, food, etc, etc. Today we're going to start off with the least thrilling, which is Roadrunner.
Enjoy your ride on the Roadrunner Express.
The Roadrunner Express. This is a family coaster. It's not really anything too high intense. There is a half helix that can kind of make you feel a little woozy, but aside from that, this ride is it's pretty mediocre. It's pretty average, but a great ride. Still a really fun ride. Really great if you have kids, adolescents, and stuff like that. They'll really enjoy this ride. So I definitely recommend trying it. On a scale of 1 to 10, there's no airtime here. There's really no positive or negative G-forces here. So I'm gonna have to give this ride a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's nothing too bad. The theming of this ride is actually pretty cool. They opened up the other side this weekend, and it's got like Roadrunner and Acme stuff. So I thought the theming was really cool, but I just thought the ride was really bland. But yeah, so we're gonna give it a 6 out of 10. We're gonna make our way over to the good old Iron Rattler. All right, we just got off Iron Rattler. I had to wait maybe an hour and a half, even with a Platinum Flash Pass. They're running only one train, so the other train is down. They're trying to fix it, and the train they're running is really screwed up. So the wait time was like, I think for a normal person was like 3 hours. So that's, I'm not gonna say it, but it's pretty bad. I love the ride. That drop off the quarry wall on that first drop is way better than Texas Giant. This ride is shorter than Texas Giant, but it's definitely way better. I'm gonna give this ride a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it a 10 today is because there's no really theming to this ride aside from the entrance sign, and there's the train situation. Operations are really suffering on this today because of that. So we're gonna give it a 9. We're gonna make our way over to Daredevil Dive Flying Machines, the newest ride here in Fiesta, Texas. Daredevil Dive. I'm not really a big fan of flat rides, and this is why. Man, this thing is, I've got really bad shoulders because of the work that I do, and so when you're upside down, all your weight is kind of on your shoulders and pushing on the padding of the chest restraints, so it's just a little uncomfortable for me. But I'm sure for someone that, you know, doesn't have shoulder problems or any kind of problems like that, then it probably wouldn't be such a big idea. It'd probably be really good for them. A lot of the general public actually like this ride. I love the theming to the ride. The theming to the ride is completely amazing. The ride itself, I feel like, would be really awesome if there was lap bars rather than over the chest restraints, but that's just the manufacturer. Six Flags has no control over that. I thought it was a really cool ride, aside from the fact that it was hurting my shoulders, so I can't really put that into it. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Really dope. We're gonna go find my group, and then we're gonna go to lunch, and then we're gonna pick back up. All right, man, I ate at Primero's Pizza. I think that's what it's called. It's directly next to Wonder Woman, which is coming up on our list. But little story here. We're making our way over to Superman, like we said we would do. She rode Joker for the first time. What do you think?
It was scary but fun.
Scary.
I screamed the whole time.
But fun. Little recommendation before you ride this thing: thou shalt not eat anything before riding this.
And I screamed the whole time.
And she screamed the whole time. The good thing is I got it all on video. The very first time her ever riding it. I might include some of it in this, just for prosperity's sake. But I'm also gonna make an entire video based upon it. It's just too funny not to watch. But yeah, we're gonna make our way over to Superman, give it a score, and then we're gonna hit the rest of them what's over here and try to wrap it up after about another 6 roller coasters. All right, man, we just got off Superman Krypton coaster. This is a B&M. It's not a hyper, but it's very, very fun. This ride really excels with corkscrews and cobra rolls. I think the thing that really sets this ride apart from any other ride in the park is probably its duration. This is a really long ride. Let's see, I've ridden everything here before, but this one always seems to come back to because the ride is so long and it's so fulfilling. Great, it's B&M, so it's very, very smooth. The back can offer a little bit more hang time over the first vertical loop, but the front is just undeniably my favorite. It's really fun. You do get a little bit of air time when you're getting ready to hit the brakes or you're coming up on the hill. I don't really notice that in the back, but whereas in the front I do. A lot of people don't call it air time. A lot of people say it's just the brakes coming to, which is true. So with that being said, what would I rate this ride? I would rate this ride probably a whopping 8 out of 10. It's really great. The theming's okay, but I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a great ride. The duration's great. It lasts a while. So let's head over to his sister, Wonder Woman.
Dispatch sit back, relax, and enjoy your 90-degree draw tunnel Wonder Woman Gold Massa coaster.
Alright, man, we just got off Wonder Woman. Man, so many things to talk about. Over the chest restraints can be a little rough on the shoulders, but they do give way. This thing is like a complete airtime machine. This thing was built and made to have lots of airtime. This ride is not like any other ride. It's a single rail coaster, so naturally it's different, but this ride is very aggressive. Some people like me don't mind rides like that. I ride this thing at least twice a day every time I come here. This thing really slaps at night too, especially with wet track. Let me know in the comments how many people have actually ridden an RMC with wet track. What is your comparison to with wet track versus not wet track? Let me know in the comments what you guys just think. I love any RMCs with wet track. It's just completely amazing, especially wet track at night. It's just great. But anyway, this ride was completely amazing. It runs through the elements so fast. I think it has like 3 inversions, but it goes through each element fast. Your brain doesn't really process it. So it's just completely, there's no words to describe how awesome this ride is. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10, just like Iron Rattler. Yeah, easily a 9 out of 10. It's such a great and smooth ride. So yeah, we're gonna give it a 9 out of 10, and we are making our way over to Poltergeist, the new Poltergeist. All right, man, we just got off Poltergeist. We did get a lot of video and a lot of footage of the walkthrough of the Poltergeist new theming, which, by the way, is really, really badass. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, should be having a video coming out probably next week or the following. Probably be the next video after this video. If you're watching this as soon as it uploads, it's not out yet. If you're watching this after, then it's already up. I'm gonna put some of it in just because it's new. The paint job is new. We're gonna be getting some ride footage of it tonight when it's dark, because the light package on it is just really, really cool and really badass. So we're definitely gonna be getting it. As far as the ride itself, although the theming is top-notch, state-of-the-art, and really good, the ride is still the same. This is a front seat ride. All my friends that are backseat riders like me, that like the airtime, the speed, the adrenaline, all that, this ride is still pretty rough in the back. Not gonna lie, we rode it in the front and in the back. The front has a good launch, the back has a better launch, but front has the smoothness where the track itself is just, it's old. This ride's been around since the 90s. So I'm not sure when's the last time it was retracked or if it ever has been retracked. But it can be pretty rough, especially when you're making those bank turns right before the middle part and end of the ride. The ride does still meander there a little while, not doing a whole lot. So that's where it really suffers. There's a lot. The launch is probably the best part. Anything after that is probably just a little meh, you know, but the theming is great. The theming is awesome. We're gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think the last time I came here and I reviewed that ride, I think I gave it like a 6. It's definitely still the same ride. It just looks a lot better. So we're gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. We're gonna move on. We got 2 more rides left. We got Goliath, and then, okay, we got 3 rides left. Goliath, Pandemonium, and Batman the Ride. So we're gonna make our way over to Goliath right now. All right, something else I wanted to talk about, the food. There is a lot of different types of foods here, ranging from pizza to your typical amusement park foods to like turkey legs and barbecue, hamburgers, all this and that. The pizza we had today was great. It was really, really good. The barbecue that we're gonna have later for dinner is more than likely gonna be very, very good. Just about everything here as far as food-wise and everything. The thing is there's not a lot of quantity, but the thing I'm gonna talk about is the amount of quality that is in this park. Everything that I've come into contact with has been not as much as quantity, but it's been more of quality. Like the rides, there aren't as many rides here as at Six Flags Over Texas, Six Flags Magic Mountain, or Six Flags Over Georgia, but the quality of these rides make them worth waiting 2-3 hours for. So that's something that really stands out, and it's something that I feel like this park has done a really great job influencing. It's quality over quantity. This park can be pretty packed and it can do quite a lot, but at the same time, they make do. I mean, where they lack in quality, they make up for in quality with other things. Like Six Flags Over Texas has more rides, so the wait times are going to be shorter. Whereas Six Flags Fiesta Texas has less rides, but they're better rides, and they make up for it with the fireworks at the end, or having consistency with the food. We've been here for 3 days in a row, 3 days in a row, and not one time have we ever complained about the food being bad. Food being good at a Six Flags park is a big deal, because a lot of times you go to an amusement park and the food is, man, it's horrible. Like you stick a turkey leg and you're eating it and it's like eating a dog bone. Charlie's at Six Flags Over Texas, I've gotten turkey legs on 3 different occasions, and all 3 times it's been like bone dry. But then I come here and I get a turkey leg and it's like really juicy and yummy, and it's great and delicious, and you can taste the smoke flavor on it. So this park, definitely quality over quantity. Goliath, the B&M clone, Batman clone. This ride originally came from Six Flags New Orleans after Katrina hit back in 05. Fuck, don't get me lying about what color and scheme and what the name of it was. It might have been called Batman the Ride, because it's pretty much the same thing. It's a Batman clone. Me and Megan, we like to compare and contrast Goliath versus Batman the Ride over Six Flags Over Texas, because sometimes one's better than the other, depending on what time of the year and when they're being ran. Whereas today when I rode it, it was very, very smooth. The last couple days when I rode it, not so much. So these rides kind of differ, and I think it has a lot to do with the temperature outside. I could be wrong, but that's the only difference since we've been here in the last 2 days. The last 2 days it's been very, very hot. Today it's just really, really humid. So that's why I said that, you know, that's the only difference. Aside from that, this ride is exactly the same. Positive G-forces, great smooth ride, same restraints. We're gonna give it might as well give it an 8 out of 10, man. Definitely a great ride, love it. And let's make our way over to Pandemonium. Alright, man, I was on my way to Batman and I saw the kid stuff and I immediately started thinking about my boy and how much fun he would have here. There's a lot of kid rides here. As you saw, there's I think it's just the cutest little ride. At Over Texas they have one. It's called like, it's a baby drop tower is what it is. But this one here has little saddles and cowboy hats up top, so it simulates them riding a horse going up. But it doesn't go up and drop as much as the one at Over Texas does. I think the one at Over Texas has this one beat. I'm not going to review a kid ride. It's just not how it is. I just thought it was really cool. The pirate ship in the summertime actually is a splash pad, and kids usually play in the splash pad, go play on the ship and slide. So that entire area is just full of kid stuff, and it is right over here by Bugs Bunny, Whitewater Rapids. So we're actually in the process of getting a video put out for it, trying to get an off-ride video for it since we don't have one. But anyway, we're over here next to Batman, so we're gonna head over here and get on Batman. I just thought I would let you guys know about that. Man, we just got off Batman the Ride, the park's only SNS free spin, and thank God it's the only one here, because man, if this thing had more than one, I'd lose my mind. I hate these fucking rides, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I hate these fucking rides. I don't mind, you know, spinning and flipping and going upside down, but I just don't like these things. I ride one of them once. If you rode one, you rode them all. But I can't give a review on something and give it a bad review just because I don't like it. There's a lot of rides out there that I don't like. This just happens to be at the top of the list. Anyone that's ever watched any of my videos when it comes to like Joker or anything like that, I always talk bad down on these freaking SNS free spins. But the general public seems to love it because the queue lines here are completely insane. There's 2 different queue lines and both of them seem to be like packed to the gill. So yeah, best of luck to you and more power to you. Not my thing. But anyway, we're gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because although this thing is really bad, the theming on this thing is probably the best theming in the park. We're gonna put out a video with the theming as well. We've been doing a lot the last few days. The theming is really badass, so definitely worth checking out. Even if you don't want to ride it, it's definitely worth to just go through the queue line to check out the theming. The Batman theming is really, really cool. So definitely worth checking out. So we gave it an 8 out of 10. It's done, over with, oh well. you don't like it, you can always talk trash on S&S Free Spins in the comments down below. Please don't hesitate. I have no problems in joining you, waking up from a dead sleep just to talk trash about it. So just let me know in the comments. Next to last one, we're heading over to Pandemonium. The last family, well, next to last coaster. We got this one, and then we got Bugs Bunny. So let's hit it. All right, man, just got off Pandemonium. This is a very interesting ride this time. Usually, like last year when I would come to this park, I would always talk down about how this park would turn the trims on this ride, and it would just make it that much more bland. But today the trims are off, so it's really, really fun. If the trims are off, it seems to be a really fun ride. If the trims are on, it can still be a fun ride, just not as fun. This is a family coaster. This is not a thrilling, exciting, adrenaline rush pumping unless you're like 12 years old and never ridden a roller coaster and this is your first one. Then your adrenaline might get pumping. You might have a really, really great time. You think it's the best roller coaster in the world. But aside from this is a family coaster. It's a Gerstlauer coaster. It's originally was like Tony Hawk's Big Spin or something. But it's Pandemonium. I think just about every theme park in the world has one of these. It's really cool. If you want a really, really exciting time, the best way to do it is to take the heaviest person and put them on one side and take the people that weigh the least amount on the other side. This way the balance gets offset and you can really spin when it comes down to those mid-course breaks. But yeah, that's the best thing to do is put one more weight on one side than the other and it'll spin and you'll get a lot more G's that way. But we've got one more, dude. Let's make our way over to Bugs Bunny Whitewater Rapids. Alright, man, I feel like Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo. I'm trying to be nice to let a family sit together, so I volunteer myself to sit in the front, thinking it's not going to be that big a deal. But man, I got completely drenched, like head to toe. Great ride, something great to cool off to. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, man. Alright, man, that's give it a little bit more time to explain about Bugs Bunny. The Whitewater Rapids. I was getting my picture and making sure my phone was okay. It's a really, really fun ride. There's a lot of Disney stuff and listen to me, a lot of Looney Tunes stuff throughout the ride. So it's really cool. The theming of this ride is actually really badass. I'm not gonna lie, they've got a dragon protecting coins, they've got a lot of Bugs Bunny stuff, and it's got a whole bunch of cool shit on the way into the queue line. The theming for this ride is top notch, really good theming. The ride itself, it's a log ride, so the drop on this ride is actually bigger than the drop at Six Flags Over Texas. So I don't know how it makes sense, but it doesn't. The drop is definitely bigger and it's steeper, so therefore it's a better ride. It does a little, you know, a couple of bunny hills. There's 2 drops. There's one right after you leave that does a bunny hill into the drop, and then there's one at the end. The one at the end is the bigger one. I do believe Over Texas just has the one. But this is a really good ride. If you really want to cool off, sit in the front row. If you just want to ride it, just because middle and back, you may get just a little bit wet. If you're trying to ride it and you're worried about getting wet, then don't ride it because it's a water ride. I mean, come on. Why do you ride water rides? You ride water rides because they're fun and because it's hot and you want to cool off. This is probably a quick way for you to cool off. We did not review Gully Washer because it is temporarily closed based on seasonal thing. I guess Jeffrey told me that he was going to leave it closed and probably till next year. Boomerang also closed. The Coast to Coast Coaster, my least favorite ride here, is also closed. They are actually trying to make the cars a little bit better, but it doesn't matter how many times you try to make those cars better, they're still gonna suck. It's a Vekoma coaster. The track itself, it's just a rough ride. So it's a good ride, but it's still a rough ride. But anyway, they're trying to fix the cars on it, so that's why that one's down. That's why we didn't review it. Hopefully it should be up the next month or so. Got some information that the Iron Rattler car should be up and operational within the next couple of weeks. Then they'll be back to full operations with 2 cars. So that's, what do I think about this park as a whole? I've been here for 3 days. I never go to a park more than a day because they usually do everything and I'm bored and I want to go do something else. But I've been here for 3 days at one park, so that tells you how good this park is, that it's good enough to keep my attention and to have me have a great time on all 3 days. So great park. This is probably one of the best theme park trips that we've had all year so far. This weekend, 3-day weekend here. Fright Fest is great. We're not covering anything for Fright Fest. That's a different video. But that's gonna do it for this one. If I had to rate this park overall, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. The only reason I'm giving it an 8.5 and not a 9 is because some of the operations are a little meh, like the situation with Iron Rattler having such a long line, and there's just a lot of little things. But this is still an amazing park, and I love this park. This is why we come here most of the time, and this is why this park is, as of right now, better than Six Flags over Texas, because of, like I said earlier, quality over quantity. Anyway, that's going to do it. 8.5 out of 10, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to see more content like this and help the algorithm, go ahead and smash that like button. If you don't, you're going to get spiders in your bed. Believe me. 8-legged creepy crawlies. And then they're going to come on your face. So just like the video. You don't have to worry about it. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.